you're just leaving them money. And how many think that money will make you happy? If it did, Michael Jackson would be happy, Britney Spears would be happy, and just thousands of others who have had money, including the mafia, would be really happy. But they aren't really happy. So you've got to find the answer. What is it that makes a world click? Even though the Romans went downhill after 200 years. And we're close, aren't we? Yes, they did. And, excuse me.
To the cliff, did you say?
To the cliff. They went to the cliff and went down, yes. Now, the only thing I can say to you is there's a book out there, Quitting, or Quit. I think it's Quit. Is that the name of the book? Does anybody know? I'll have to get it for you and email it to you. But anyway, it's about how we're never told to quit. We're never told to quit. We're always told, okay, if you got a B, that's good, keep going. All right? If you're doing well, oh, don't quit anything, just get into a lot of stuff and keep going. Keep doing, keep promoting yourself, keep making yourself fine. But you know what? Sometimes you do have to quit certain behaviors. And I think maybe some of these behaviors for large corporations do have to quit. So I think you have to talk about that. The other thing is that I'd like you to understand that we may be ensnared by estate tax. Now, how many taxes do we have? You're going to write your legacy. Next time we meet, you're going to have to tell me if you've done it or not. Okay, number one. Okay, how many taxes do we have? We have an estate tax. Does anybody else have any other tax we have? Who? Yes? Capital gains tax. Okay? Capital gains tax. Any other tax we have? Which one? Income tax. Okay. Income tax. Any other tax we have? Inheritance for a state, maybe. Some states have an inheritance tax. Inheritance tax is usually a state tax because the estate tax is usually the death tax or which tax? Who imposes an estate tax on us? Federal. Federal, yes. So this is federal. All right, what other taxes do we have in Wisconsin that's really very high?
Sales tax.
Sales tax, and what else?
Excess transactional tax.
Excess transaction tax, and what other tax?
Property.
Property tax. Okay. And the AMT. AMT tax, yes. We might get rid of that, and then property tax. Look at all the taxes. All this tax on Social Security, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So actually there are quite a few taxes. The tax I'm going to focus on is this tax right here today. Now, which would be the easiest to increase, do you think, in the future? I'll give you a little therapy here. Excuse me? Yeah, for the federal government, or the state governments, whatever. This is a federal tax here. This can be a federal tax here. This is a state tax. The sales tax would be a state tax. AMT is the federal government. This is the state. Let's do the federal tax. What would be the easiest to increase? Do you think? Yes?
Most states are going to sales tax increases, like in New York, 43% next year in some sales taxes.
On sales tax?
Yeah, because they don't have enough revenue.
New York also has a city tax, state tax. Okay, two taxes. All right, but what tax to the federal government is the largest tax? Does anybody know? She says no, she doesn't know. That's why you're here today. Therapy. Okay. Which one? Income tax. Okay. Income tax. Let me show you the income tax. Goes from the 10% tax bracket to maybe the 35% tax bracket, and if you're in a trust, maybe a 40% tax bracket. Is there anything higher than that? Estate taxes are higher. Yes. After your first unified credit deduction, your tax is 45% up. Now, do you know how much it was before 1986? Or were you all too young? Too young? It was a 70% estate tax. Now, here's what I'd like to tell you. McCain said he was going to lower the estate tax or give you each $5 million, okay? Obama says we're going to give you each $3.5 million. That's nice. That'd be great. Give you each $3.5 million or $5 million. Nobody said whether they were, oh, maybe one of them did. McCain was going to go to 15% estate tax, I think, and Obama was going to keep 45. But nobody said what Congress was really going to do. What if they change, they give you each $3 million, and they change the estate tax to 70% after the unified credit? You don't know. You can't tell. You really don't know. So, when you start your planning, you should write out your legacy. What do you want to leave your favorite charities and your children? And what are you going to use to take care of yourself? And what are you going to use to give to the government as taxes? Because you know what? They are going to tax us. So, these are kinds of trusts. I thought I'd put them together and see how we can piece it all together so that you can understand this. But so far, tell me if there's anything you don't understand. Which is more expensive, the estate tax or probate? Raise your hand. Don't tell me out loud. How many think probate's more expensive than the estate tax? Raise your hand. Ooh, you guys are smart. Okay, the estate tax is more expensive than probate. Probate is 3 to 5%. And you can avoid probate. But the estate tax is what we have to worry about because it is a mess out there. There are troubled times out here. Are there any opportunities to give you financial therapy? I would say there are. The number one thing you can do, the market is down in real estate and the market is down in stocks. What could you do on a yearly basis, if you want to, for your kids? You can gift. Can you gift shares of stock or a mutual fund? Yes. And that might be a very smart thing to do. Gift. Especially if there are going to be taxes down the road. Why? Here, I'll show you this. Let me take this out. And I'm still going to leave write your legacy down because I do think you have to first know your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish? All right. Let's say you have $500,000 and you only make 7%. Wouldn't that be nice if we made 7%? Divide it into 72, okay? And every, how many? 10.2 years your money doubles, okay? So let's say you're a young 55. So I get down here, how much do I have? I have $1 million. We're not taking anything out of this money. Okay, so you're 65. You go down here, you have $2 million. Whoops, there you go. You go to 75, you have $4 million. Well, we don't even know if they're going to keep this. We have 85, and we're going to live to 156, you know. Okay, so $4 million, you have $8 million. Now, if there's just one of you, because one of you died. 95, can you live to 95? Yeah, you can. Very possibly have 16 million. You want that all in your estate? No. Not even at 7%, you don't want that. The trouble is, this is a long way out. It's, 10, 20, 30, 40 years out. Go back 40 years. Go back 40 years. You were younger. But, a little. But actually, that's not so far-fetched. You can go back 40 years and think about it. So, if you live too long, you have this problem. And you have to think about that. So I'm just telling you to think now about what you might